The BF in Sigma BF stands for Beautiful Foolishness. This is because the camera strips out advanced features that we've seen in other flagship cameras, such as an EVF, IBIS, and even an SD card slot. It's traded it all away for design, and it's created this beautiful camera that a lot of people are not taken seriously. So that is exactly why I wanted to take this polarizing camera on my summer road trip. There was limited availability of this camera, so I had to reach out to Sigma to see if there was a loaner available, and luckily they sent me the Sigma BF and 2 lenses to use for my summer road trip. Although they did send me this loaner, they don't have any influence in what I say in this video, and with that out of the way, let's talk about the pros and cons of the Sigma BF. I'm gonna start with the cons of this camera, because if you've used any professional camera before, there's probably at least one feature that would be missing from this camera if you were to purchase it. The first worry that I had with this camera was the battery life. This camera actually has a small and very unique style battery, and on top of that, I only had one of them. The first couple days, the camera was very low or almost dead by 4 to 6 hours of shooting, I would say, so I definitely had some battery issues. When I started having these issues, I decided that I was just gonna charge the camera in the car when driving between stops, and this pretty much negated the issue for me as the camera was always topped off. However, I would say if you're gonna be using this camera all day, I would highly recommend getting some extra batteries for the camera, and I would even recommend maybe getting a portable power bank with a USB-C cord so you could just top this camera off while you're going around and not shooting. The next fears that I had with this camera were probably the biggest for me, and that was the fact that this camera does not have IBIS and it does not have a mechanical shutter. On top of this, I have just seen a ton of negative feedback about electronic shutter online, so this definitely made it a big fear for me to use it. However, I quickly realized with my style of shooting on this trip, which was a more slowed down landscape approach of photography, I didn't have any issues with the lack of IBIS or the electronic shutter. In fact, in the beginning of the road trip on the first couple of days, there were a ton of other issues that were distracting me from the shortcomings that may have come with this camera. So when I did my first image review with the camera, I realized that all of the images were fine, and I wasn't even thinking about IBIS and the electronic shutter. I wasn't compromising for them in any way, and I was just using the camera how I normally use it, and it perfectly got the images that I needed. So after that first image review, I gained so much trust in this camera, and that really continued throughout the trip. I would say that if you are going to be in a faster paced environment, there may be some issues, but for me personally, I had no issues with no IBIS and the electronic shutter. Another issue that could potentially impact my image making was the fact that this camera has no EVF and it has a fixed in place LCD screen. This is worrisome because of its potential impact on composition, which as a photographer is our strongest tool. Over the past year, I've actually been a little more accustomed to using the back LCD of cameras, but with those, I usually tilt those LCDs either up or down depending on the angle of the photo I'm taking. With a Sigma BF, you can't tilt it at all. So for the first couple days of using this camera, I found myself positioning myself in ways that I normally wouldn't. I'd either have to crouch down more or get on my tippy toes just to get in a better position to take the photo and see the LCD screen at the same time. However, there is one camera that does have a fixed LCD in place that has kind of trained me for this moment, and that is my iPhone. That screen doesn't rotate, doesn't tilt, and you do have to put yourself into some weird angles to get some shots with your phone. And after a couple days of weirdly positioning myself, it kind of became a non-issue, and it didn't really matter to me that I would have to do that. Also with the screen, I would say the size and the sharpness of the screen was perfect. I had no issues with checking if my images weren't perfect, but I did come into an issue with the brightness of the screen. On some occasions while using the Sigma BF, it was definitely a little hard to see the back LCD. Once again, I found that the solution to this was kind of just positioning my body in a more unique way. I found myself trying to adjust to give the camera's LCD a little more shade, and with that I could compose the image. It was a little annoying, but ultimately I did find that I could use the screen if I positioned myself in the right way. So overall, the LCD did make me have to use the camera a little differently than I would use other cameras, but it did not impact my composition that much, if at all. My last issue with this camera is the fact that it has no hot shoe. I completely understand from a design standpoint why they didn't put a hot shoe on this, and it also makes sense because this only has electronic shutter, but I wish they found a way to squeeze it in. It would definitely be more fun to put some accessories on this and even use a flash with this camera, but I do have to say, if I'm being honest with myself, I probably use a hot shoe accessory less than 5% of the time that I use a camera, so this really isn't a deal breaker for me. It's more of I'm sad that it's not there. Surprisingly, I actually had more pros with this camera than I thought I would. The first thing that I really enjoyed about this camera is the design and build quality of it. It may not be the most ergonomic camera, and I would definitely consider a grip for it, but it is one of the most premium feeling cameras in hand. The metal and texture of this camera honestly make this feel somewhat like a luxury product, and that's really nice and definitely inspiring when wanting to go out to shoot. Another thing about the design that I really liked was the haptic responsive control buttons that this camera has. These buttons operate just like an Apple Magic Trackpad would if you've ever used it. When the camera is off, these buttons don't click at all. However, as soon as you turn the camera on, they instantly gain a click. The touch functionalities of these buttons is just a quick image preview or a quick settings preview, and that honestly is all it is. It's just there if you want it, and that's kind of how I want touch buttons. I don't want them to be forced on me to use. And the last thing that I love about the design of this camera is that it only has one port. It just has one single USB-C port, and this can be used for charging, image transfer, and I think some other video functions. I'm not going to talk about the video of this camera and that, but it does do that. This is a hybrid camera, but this one USB-C port is very good because I know if I bring one USB-C port, I have access to do anything with this camera, whether it comes from charging it, connecting to my phone, connecting to my laptop. That is an amazing thing to just have that easy simplicity. The next big pro about this camera is the lens mount. This is an L mount camera, which means it has access to all the lenses in the L mount alliance. On top of having so many lenses to choose from, Sigma actually creates its own line of lenses that match perfectly with this camera called the Contemporary line. They make these lenses in black and silver, which means it can match the color of the Sigma BF body that you choose perfectly. The camera unfortunately does not come with a kit lens, but the good news is that you can just buy your favorite focal length and attach it to the camera. For instance, I was using the 24 and the 90. If I was gonna redo it, I would probably just buy one lens and split the difference, either a 35 or 50, mount it to this camera, and never take it off. One thing that I absolutely love about the Sigma BF that I haven't seen talked about too much are the color modes inside of it. There are 13 color modes inside of the Sigma BF, and they're some of the most aesthetic and pleasing color profiles that I've ever seen, and I've been testing a lot of other camera brands' color profiles. The modes inside of the camera are functional, they're strong, and they're also mutable, which means there's a lot of options for recipes to be created in the future. I think this is a really fun camera because those 13 looks are very distinct, and honestly, I'd highly recommend setting this camera into JPEG and RAW mode, testing out those JPEG color profiles, but then always having that 14-bit 24.6 megapixel RAW file in the backup if you ever need to get more detail from your shadows or your highlights. I was very pleased with the autofocus on this camera. It's a hybrid between phase and contrast detection, and even when I put it into some night scenes and some harsh morning and evening scenes with the sun just coming up, I had no issue getting the correct focus area. The Sigma BF has no SD card slot. It only comes with 230 gigabytes of internal memory, which is about 4,300 raw uncompressed files. I've been using a couple cameras with internal memory, and I truly like this system. I find it's very easy to just plug my camera in, get all the files off of it, which is very nice with the Sigma BF, by the way, because it actually organizes the files by date. That's just the system that I like. If you like to have redundancy in your files and need an SD card slot, this would be a huge con, but for someone like me who trusts the internal memory of these cameras, I like the speed of it, I like the function of it, this is a huge win for me, and I really like that simplicity of the Sigma BF. The last thing that I appreciate about this camera is that it is a dust and water resistant structure. Honestly, when I picked this camera up and I saw the exposed USB-C port, I thought that this camera would have no weather resistance at all, but it turns out that this camera can handle light rain. It's just nice to have that peace of mind knowing that this camera has some durability. The Sigma BF is $21.99 USD, and paired with a lens that I recommend, one of those contemporary Sigma lenses, you're looking at an extra $719 USD. This brings the total to around $2,918 USD. Now that is a decent amount of money for a camera system, so I want to tell you who I think this camera is for. This camera is clearly for a select audience. It's for the people like me that have used other cameras before and understand the sacrifices that they are going to be making when they buy this camera. It's not a camera that I would recommend for professional gigs, but it's a camera I would highly recommend for everyday photo. With the simple design of this camera, I think you could easily set up a color profile, get one lens that you love, and turn this to an extremely fun, premium point and shoot camera. Taking this camera on the 30 days with me made me realize that I really enjoy the simplicity that Sigma has decided to go with this camera. I enjoy the size, I enjoy the compactness, and I enjoy the image quality that I get out of this camera. This camera has been extremely enjoyable for me because I knew what I was getting into before it, and I was willing to accept those trade-offs and really put them to the test. And after seeing how everything panned out and the beautiful images that I got on my trip, this is a camera that is 100% going to be in my bag for years to come.